restaurants.
Hi, good morning. Happy Friday. It's January the 27th. Kim and Carrie with you.
End of the month.
I know.
Hard to believe how many days to spring. I'm going to get you on that one later.
Yes.
I know you were counting down so diligently the other day.
But you know what? It hasn't been that bad of a winter overall. So I'm not, usually winter, boy, I get, I start to hibernate.
Yeah.
I get the blues.
Yeah.
But this winter has been a lot different. I've been out a lot more. There has been very little snowfall, and I know that hasn't been good for a lot of people and businesses. But for those of you who prefer a spring to a winter, it's been pretty decent. Now today, a little dicey.
Well, this is the problem. When you get conditions like this that are hovering around freezing rain, ice pellets are all a consideration, and that's exactly the concern today. North of the city of Toronto, had a caller from Peterborough around 4 or 5 o'clock this morning, local time, and they were talking more about the freezing rain, saying it was like an ice rink there. So there are some pockets that are really getting hit harder. So what we're seeing, you can see snow. It'll be fairly light. We're not going to get a significant snow from this once the cold front passes, and you'll notice that most areas around Niagara heading up to Toronto are in rain. It's eastern Ontario, as you can see, around the Orangeville area, and we've had problems on the road around that region as well, heading all the way up towards the Ottawa Valley and into Montreal. So we could see prolonged periods around Montreal, even the eastern townships today. There are warnings, watches, special weather statements, and it all encompasses Atlantic Canada as well. And Shelley Steves is going to join us and let us know what's happening currently, and also about just the lack of snow and what's happening with folks who love snowmobiling in the area too. So Toronto this afternoon, don't rule out some mixing. It'll either be a rain-snow mix, possibly some freezing rain. There are special weather statements and, of course, warnings, as we just talked about, all within the vicinity. So snow already starting. So this is the thing. We'll see snow. We'll see the transition to freezing rain, and then back to snow. So pretty much all the areas that are going to be getting into active weather today are going to see that combination. So as you can see, starting to move up, starting as light snow in Atlantic Canada, and then all throughout the St. Lawrence. This is a winter storm warning because it encompasses all of that, all precipitation types. Also, it's going to be windy. The winds will be picking up in southern Ontario, as they will be picking up around this region as well. Bathurst, you may very well get into 20, 30 centimeters of snow, and around the Gaspé region to the north around the St. Lawrence. So be prepared for heavier snow bands in those particular areas because you won't see as much freezing or mixing type of precip. So the winds, though, I want to give you a heads up on this. Winds will be gusting rather high, 60, 70 kilometers an hour. We do have a warning in the Rec House area, and that'll be throughout tonight. But these are the areas, as you can see here, that are indicating in the dark blue of the higher snowfall amounts. Also, winter storm watch, pretty much all of Newfoundland.
This long-range forecast is brought to you by Activia.
So, St. John's, you're in a special weather statement, but you have central and western shores and northern shores around Gander, all in a winter storm watch, and a winter storm warning areas will be popping up, all because we'll see mixed precipitation, could see prolonged periods of freezing rain in the interior sections. So this will start to clear on Saturday, so we'll start to see it shaping up, and as we will in the Maritimes as well. But gusty conditions, we're going to have a series of very weak areas of low pressure around the Great Lakes, so it will be cold enough, though, that this will be dropping as snow. So we'll see a couple centimeters on Saturday, possibly on Sunday as well around southwestern Ontario. So just be prepared for that as you're heading out. Just check the road conditions before you go. The next system comes on shore Saturday into Sunday, but mild conditions. Sunday, it'll be almost 10 degrees in southern areas of Alberta. Seasonal temperatures on Sunday with a little bit of snow around the Great Lakes. Could see a rain-snow mix, particularly around Sydney, for example, around the coastal sections of Nova Scotia. And then on Monday, then again, another system comes in. So it looks like this. Keep in mind, Shelley Steves is coming up.
This long-range forecast.
Good morning. Happy Friday. Kim and Carrie with you. We are joined this morning by Shelley Steves in Moncton. And, it was just this week that Shelley had done a story.
Snow, are they liking this or they're just sort of missing it?
We're getting a pretty decent one today. I don't know if this is one of those careful what you wish for, but it could be a little bit messy.
Okay.
Thanks, Shelley. So lots to get to. Let's talk about those warnings and anywhere really from Ontario to Atlantic Canada.
All right. Well, let's get into this because you can see that, as where Shelley is in Moncton, not a whole lot of precipitation, but the snow is coming. So it'll start off as snow, transition over into freezing rain potentially throughout the overnight. That's what we're anticipating. So is Environment Canada issuing a lot of watches and warnings through many of these areas. This is the snowfall warning. You can see it's around Mont Tremblant, but you can see the extension here of the winter storm warning because we anticipate all different types of precipitation falling. Bathurst, Miramichi, as Shelley was talking about, expected to get some of the steadier, higher amounts of snow, upwards of 20, 30 centimeters. But rainfall will be heavy at times. We'll talk a lot more about this and across the country.
Weather news.
Hi, good morning. Thanks for joining us on this Friday. It's Top 10 Video Day. Kim and Carrie with you. Plus, tonight between 6 and 7, Chris St. Clair will be on Twitter, and he will be chatting with you about the special that we've been airing called Canada's Wildest Winter Storms. And it's gotten some great feedback.
And we'd love to get your feedback. So that's what I was just going to say. I want to encourage everyone to, to write in, go to our website, just to give us your comments and let us know what you're thinking about this, because we'd like to do more and more features for everyone.
Yeah, this is our first ever live Twitter chat, so hopefully you'll get involved, and Chris St. Clair will answer your questions the best he can. We've had some pretty wild weather today in Ontario. A number of our freezing rain warnings have come to an end. Places like Barry's Bay and Killaloe in the Ottawa Valley, and then farther west towards Kincardine, Haliburton, Bracebridge, all those freezing rain warnings are over.
Alrighty, but north of Toronto, we can still expect to see something, and there are already very slippery conditions. A lot of people calling in, and we'd love for you to do so on our storm line and let us know what's going on in your area and what you're seeing, because you can see with a mess like this, blue indicating snow, green rain, and of course the mixed precipitation in pink, it's messy out there, and that line, that zero temperature line, it really fluctuates so much, and of course that determines what type of precip essentially that you're going to get. Winds will be picking up during the course of the day. This is what the freezing rain warning looks like right now. It's just heading towards Stratford and London, although you're not included in it. And then we're heading further east. It seems that areas to the east have been dealing with slightly higher amounts in terms of areas like just around the eastern townships and just around that Vermont border. They've been getting doused pretty hard with freezing rain and a freezing drizzle. Also Sudbury, you're in a freezing drizzle advisory right now as well. So this is throughout the afternoon what we can expect. So it'll pull further east. Montreal, you have a likelihood of getting into this and then that transition over into snow. You'll start off as snow, most of Atlantic Canada, and then you'll transition over to freezing rain and get a period of a couple of hours in there, anywhere from sort of Halifax, mainland Nova Scotia, and heading towards the St. Lawrence Valley. So it really looks like it's going to be quite active throughout the next 24 hours. Just be prepared for poor visibility. Driving is going to be very slippery. Give yourself extra time. You know the drill when you get active weather. Also, winds will be quite brisk tonight. They'll be picking up throughout the afternoon in those traditional areas, those exposed shores. And winds look like this. The red indicates sustained winds, up 40, gusting even higher. So we can see a lot of PEI in that as well. So snowfall, higher amounts because you will maintain more snow. You will stay in more snow and not get so much transition around the Bathurst area.
This long-range forecast is brought to you by Discount Car and Truck Rentals.
All right, let's get into your long-range forecast. The next system is coming in. It looks like we've seen a little bit more onshore flow for today, also for tomorrow in around Vancouver. So you're not getting as much dry. The dry conditions that we anticipated. It looks like you're going to get those on and off showers. It doesn't appear that it's going to be quite all that heavy until the system really is on top of you. So you can see Saturday as the next system approaches, you get snow to the higher elevations. And then you're getting really quite nice conditions across much of the prairies. The milder air from this next system from BC bring out your temperatures tomorrow in southern Alberta, close to 10 degrees. A few centimeters around the Great Lakes clearing, but it's still going to be more of an active day for Newfoundland and portions of Labrador. Seasonal Sunday across much of the Great Lakes, and there's all that milder air right across Alberta. But you're getting into the thick of things in through BC. You'll get that steady rain. Showers, it'll start to taper off. You might even get a few sunny breaks. And then as we get into Tuesday, we're going to be getting new systems just sort of coming through the Great Lakes. Not all that heavy, but enough to drop a couple of centimeters. More coming up live from Moncton with Shelley Steves.
This long-range